Our Farm Basics time each week here on Ag PhD is all designed for the non-farmer. If you're a non-farmer, we really appreciate you watching Ag PhD. Well, you might not enjoy some of the agronomy stuff we talk about. We try to at least take this one segment of every show and talk about something that's going on in the farm, something that we need to relate to you as the non-farmer. Well, today our topic is harvest road safety. And really, let's just put it this way. Road safety anywhere around farms. It's obviously incredibly important and a very sensitive topic for us, so we wanted to talk about that just a little bit today.
Well, sometimes you'll see road signs as you get into farming areas that will caution you about slow-moving vehicles and tractors and this kind of thing, or maybe even livestock crossing the road. But at harvest time, wow, it could be just about anywhere because farmers are harvesting grain and many times they're hauling that grain 10 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles down the road. Now, when you're looking at large trucks moving, I think we're all pretty familiar with seeing large trucks, semi-trucks out on the road, and we kind of understand they've got a wide turning radius and you don't want to be on the inside of them when they're trying to make a left-handed turn, something like that. So you do have to be cautious of those trucks. But the thing I'm most concerned about at harvest time is really wide equipment, whether that's a big tillage tool heading down the road or a combine heading down the road. Those are things that are moving pretty slow, and that really changes the game.
All right, I've got three real big things here. Number one is when Darren and I were growing up on the farm, our dad always told us, drive in your lane. Do not drive on the shoulder of the road. If you drive on the shoulder of the road, you have given up your rights. So let's say we got a tractor, a slow-moving vehicle. He told us, drive down your lane. And I realize that for you as a non-farmer, or even if you are a farmer and you're just driving your pickup or something, you go, hey, that guy needs to move over. No, he doesn't. He has every right to that road. So just understand that. The farmer is supposed to drive in his lane. So that's number one. Number two, usually the farmer isn't going far. He's maybe on average going a mile or two. So what's it going to slow you up? Not a whole lot. And here's the big thing. When you see that slow-moving vehicle sign, that triangle on the back of a slow-moving vehicle, what that means is legally you are required to slow down to the speed of that vehicle before you go ahead and pass it. So you can't just fly around at 55 miles an hour. No way. If that vehicle is going 15 or 20, you have to slow down to 15 or 20 first. Then you can safely proceed around the vehicle to pass it.
And this is not just for the safety of the farmer driving that tractor, it's for your safety. As you're coming up really fast on one of these vehicles, if you get out in the passing lane and all of a sudden realize, I can't pass. Now you're going 55 miles an hour versus 15, and you've got to somehow pull back in behind this guy. It's a very dangerous situation, so you want to watch that.
And the other thing I'd say about this driving too fast around the guy that's got the slow-moving vehicle sign, it's not so much that we worry about, oh, you have to get back in behind the vehicle. It's simply that, hey, what if the vehicle decides it's going to turn? That tractor decides it's going to turn left. We've seen this happen by us where a tractor is turning left. In fact, they even have their turn signal on, but somebody was flying past them at 60 or 70 miles an hour. They didn't slow down to the speed of the slow-moving vehicle first. So just always keep that in mind.
And these rules are pretty obvious when you're out there during the daytime. At night, it gets even a little more tricky because, you know, there's flashing lights and everything on this big equipment, but you just can't get a feel for how big some of these things are because it's unusual to see them going down the road.
Yep, so just use great care, take your time around any of this farm equipment, and I know it's frustrating because I've been in your situation too where I want to get around somebody that's in a slow-moving vehicle. Take a deep breath for a second and remember it's probably only going to slow you up a minute or two, but just slowing up that minute or two could save someone's life.
You know, patience is really important when you're driving, but it's not important when it comes to weed control. If you have our Weed of the Week, you need to get it under control right now. We'll show you how coming up later in the show.